Hi YouTube, you're watching Tractor Talk with Gary. A couple weeks ago, a YouTube friend of mine, Logan from FABBED FUN, decided to throw down the gauntlet on me and challenge me to 5 favorite add-ons, be that implements or modifications, whatever, to my tractor. And although I've modified other tractors, we're going to go with my latest and greatest, my little L2501 Kubota 25 horsepower tractor. I love this. I've modified it quite a bit. We'll show the modifications here real quickly, and then we'll get into what my favorites are. The modifications that I have done is to put the strobe lights on the back. Let's turn them on. And to add a light bar to the front. That doesn't show up so good during the day, but holy cow, at night, wow, it's almost too much. You could blind somebody driving down the road if I'm working in the yard with that on. But I don't work much at night anymore, so I've kind of gotten away from that. And I added the chain box to the side, the golf cart mirrors to each side, and the chainsaw mount. Steering wheel spinner was one of the very first things I put on. Things that I had added on when I got the tractor was the rear work light. That's an incandescent, not an LED, but it's still really bright. The quick hitch on the back, that's a Land Pride QH15. Something went wrong in the painting process on that. They must have wrapped it with shrink wrap when it was wet, because it messed up the paint on it. And my tractor, this L2501, is the cheapest version of this that you can get in a 4-wheel drive. I have the ag tires, which are standard, and I had them flip the wheels. These are reversible for this part of the dish. Had that, flip that to its widest point, and then add 1-inch wheel spacers. And as you can see, the tires are well outside of the fenders, well outside. But these narrow little compact tractors, and what I have to use it for, where I have to use it, you want that wide stance, and they're fluid filled. And with the box blade and the quick hitch on the back, I took an old 1/2-inch log chain that I never use. They're just too heavy. It's old and brittle. Wrapped that around the bracing, tied it in there with some twine, farmer style, so it won't go anywhere. And that's added weight back there, and it gives me really good ballast. I had the remote hydraulics added to it. And up front, I did the skid steer quick attach. Not the squid steer quick attach, the skid steer quick attach on the front. And changing implements on the front, that's a breeze. That's nice. Bucket level indicator was added. Now some other things that I've added, and we're going to talk about that in a minute here with my favorites.
Number 5
is my quick hitch. Makes hooking and unhooking my box blade, when I do use that, a breeze. The only time this comes off is when I am mowing with my southeast mower over here, because the pin settings are different. It won't work with my quick hitch, and it's about a nightmare to adapt it. So I just drop that off and hook it directly to the 3-point. Didn't do any mowing this year because of the drought we're in. Wasn't necessary. The brush is kind of growing up. It needs to be dealt with, and I may hook up to it yet Anyway, so that's number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4 is my box blade. I bought that used. I got a good deal on that from my Kubota dealer when I bought the tractor. He told me, if you buy a tractor from me, you're interested in that box blade, I'll give you a real good deal on it. And he did. This is a little heavier box blade than some that you've seen out here. If you watch a channel called MJA Doing Stuff, Mitch from Minnesota, he has the smaller, I think it's the same width, but it's a little lighter duty than this. And he fabricated a pin setup for that. That was a pretty interesting video. Thank you for doing that, Mitch.
Number 3.
And number 3 is the golf cart mirrors that I've added on both sides. They're added with magnets. I'm a big retrieval magnet guy. Those things come in so handy. Both sides. Man, that makes that nice. You can see when you're backing up to something. If you're on the road, you can see if anything's behind you.
Number 2.
And number 2 is my chainsaw mount. I carry my little MS-180C chainsaw on here, and I made that. I liked it so well, I made one for my 520 John Deere for my middle-sized chainsaw, my MS-250. My big one, my MS-390, stays in the case, and that gets hauled around in either a trailer or the back of my side-by-side parked over there. So that is so handy. If you're down in the woods, I drag up tops with this, so I need to get in and out of tight places. If I'm on a slope and I'm hooked to something and it's not cut completely in two, or a limb snags on something, you just set the parking brake, jump off, grab your chainsaw, whack it in two, and away you go. And I put out a little shout out to my favorite gun club, United States Marine Corps.
Number 1.
Number 1, of course you knew this was coming, is the Grapple. And with the Grapple, I actually did this before I got the Grapple. There's a friend of mine, we're going to be talking about him a little bit later. Robert from Pheasant Lane Farm had a friend who owns a business called Zook's Welding. And Zook's Welding made these. I got the economy version, the cheapest version he sells. Ships it unpainted. And I've been real happy with it. I had to paint it myself, and I may have to pull it off and paint it again because my rattle can paint job is kind of wearing thin on it. But my friend Robert, for doing that, for getting that from Zook's Welding, gifted me this Tractor Talk with Gary plate. It's got the laser cut Tractor Talk and the YouTube arrow on it. Just gifted that to me. Now, Robert was a policeman who damn near gave his life in the line of duty. He had a really close call, and it messed him up for quite a while. It pretty near destroyed his right arm. And he's got an incredible wife and stepdaughter and friends and family. And I've been following his channel for quite a while, and wow, they bought a diamond in the rough property and have really turned that into a show place. And they're living their dream. God bless them. I think that's great. So my number 1 is my Grapple. And I guess I pointed this out because if you're going to have a Grapple, even the loader, if you're going to be down shoving stuff around in the woods, brush guard is mandatory. There's a lot of expensive stuff right up front here, and you can damage that in the blink of an eye. And you can do a good many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars damage in just an instant. And with a Grapple, you just never know. A stick is going to kick out sideways when you compress something and go right through your radiator. So far, by having that, it's not even dinged up yet. Not a scratch. Just the way I want it. So perfect. I got my Grapple from the local Mahindra dealer. Got a really good deal on it. This is a work saver. It's narrow. It's a 48-incher, and you know, a lot of guys get them a lot bigger and heavier. I wanted to save money. I wanted to go a little more economical. Grapples can add up to a lot of money. So he gave me a good deal on it, and I've been real happy with it. I did not get the third function when I got the tractor, and opted to not put it on afterwards too, because that was going to run me about $1,000 or close to it. So what I did was rerouted the hoses all the way to the back to the remotes. And once I got the Grapple, it's the first time I ever used my remotes. So I've got to get back to my Mahindra dealer, Fenton Repair over at Strawberry Point, and we're going to make quick couplers for the front so I can hook and unhook. But right now, I'm not taking the Grapple off. I like it so much, and I use it so much. So handy to have that. I don't know how I got by without it. So there, Logan, I hope I answered your challenge with my 5 favorites. Now, to pass that deed on to the next ones, since I mentioned Robert from Pheasant Lane Farm, Robert, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet on you. What's your 5 favorite attachments, add-ons? You've got an L2501 Kubota, which is the same exact tractor as this with a different engine in it. Same loader, everything. And he's real happy with his tractor. He takes good care of it, keeps it in good shape. So next is going to be some friends of mine from North Carolina. Several of you watch their channel, and I would urge everybody to go check these channels out. It's Mathew and Lisa from the Piney Woods Homestead. They, 2 of the hardest working people on YouTube. Tell you what, Mathew has an L2501 Kubota, and he has a mini excavator Kubota. And that's what he does for a living when he's off of the Piney Woods Homestead, is he runs the excavator and does excavating for a living. And this guy is amazing. He can butcher his own hogs. They have a humongous garden, and they just started a farmer's market at their place. They built a cabin in the woods and finished that thing off. Go check that video out. It'll turn your head. I mean, it is amazing. So, and the last one is one I've been following for a long time, and a lot of you follow this channel. We don't hear a lot from him very often, but it's always good when you do. And he is Dave Dobbs from Dave Knows How. Dave has a great channel, been following for a long time. We're good YouTube friends. And so I'm going to throw down the gauntlet to you, Dave. See what you come up with for your favorites. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And life is good, even better from the tractor seat. Thank you.